Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back for UFRL action in Tier 1, and it will be here at the Canadian Grand Prix Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for round 3 this season. So going through the championship standings, well, straight away I will know that Pesci has won back-to-back Grand Prix this campaign, so 2 wins already for Pesci. He has opened up a 15-point gap, I believe it is. Let me just double check. Yep, indeed it is a 15-point lead for Pesci over Usamach, who is currently in 2nd place in the Alfa Romeo. 3rd place is the Red Bull of Lynx. He is 19 points behind. Then you got the Williams of Merck, 4th place in the standings. He is 21 points behind. 22 points behind is a Haas of Medium. And taking into account Medium DNF the last event, meaning 22 points isn't too bad of a difference. He's 5th place, so he's done very well given that he has only had 1 result effectively. 6th place, also having just 1 result on the cards, is Hazer, who DNF'd the opening round at Austria, so missed out on points there. But he's still up there in 6th in the standings, so quite some achievement for both himself and Medium to be up there. Hazel's got his teammate Rusted Bolt in 7th place in the standings as well. So the 2 AlphaTauris doing well. Speaking of which, AlphaTauri top of the combined Constructors' Championship as well. Then you've got Connor in the Ferrari, Wizard in the McLaren, Kennedy in the Mercedes, all in the top 10 as well. And behind them you've got the Alpine of Tajani, the Ferrari of Mav, the 2nd Alpine of Coffee, the Williams of Tabo, the reigning champion Mr. Poem, currently down in 15th place, some way shy of the championship leaders. Yours sincerely, the reigning Tier 2 champion, down in 16th place. Then it's Judge Santi, Steelane, Destroyer Drac, and Bad Boy, who is on show tonight. So that is the full standings, and we're going to go on board as Hazer. Hazer's on track and just pushing on a lap right now. He's actually gone very early for his first hot lap, as Mav is serving as qualifying ban, hence why he has retired from the session. So the Ferrari will have to start from P20 after a collision last week. We saw 2 DNFs, himself and the other driver, in fact, which was Medium. Was it Medium? Or was it, I think it was actually Judge Santi, I believe. So it was Santi and Mav. But here comes Hazel across the line. First official time will be a 1:11.595. And it is from the AlphaTauri of Hazer. As Bad Boy is on a lap. Lynx is on a lap. So both the Red Bulls are going early. Rusted Bolt pushing on as well. The 2 AlphaTauris going very early for their first hot laps here. Connor and Tajani also just starting their laps, but we're going to stick then with Hazer's teammate here, Rusted Bolt. Can he improve on the Hazer time for 1:11.5? The 2 AlphaTauris will be the first 2 to cross the line, and let's see where they will both place themselves on the grid this evening. As Rusted Bolt just going through turns 12 and 13, avoiding the Wall of Champions. Wonder if that will be crucial in the race, but it's a 1:11.7 for Bolt, just over a 10th between him and his teammate. Tajani Brinkman will be amongst the next drivers as Link's Piece 1:10.9, so we've got a sub 1:11 straight away, and Tajani 1:11.8, but it's a 1:10.9 from Link's Piece, which is the time to beat as Bad Boy coming over the line goes quickest. It's a 1:10.8, and it is a Red Bull 1 and 2, and AlphaTauri 3 and 4, but the Red Bulls at the moment have the advantage here. So great efforts from Bad Boy and Lynx, but I'm sure there'll be many improvements to come. Connor in the Ferrari will not be the one of them to improve. He has invalidated on that run. It would have been a 1:11.9, which would have put him slowest of the running cars anyways. And what about the McLaren? Here comes Wizard Rex across the line, former Tier 2 driver, and it is P3 1:11.4 for the opening lap for the McLaren of Wizard Rex. He loves being in that McLaren. I think it is it the 3rd season in a row that he's been driving a McLaren? So there you go, he's at it again. As Hazer is going to go for another run with a 1:11.5 at the moment, and Bolt just behind him. I do imagine he may be going in the pits. He has fully recovered his battery, so he can go again if he so chooses to. Tajani will be flying into the pit lane. Bolt is going again, so both AlphaTauris pushing for another lap. Kennedy perhaps giving some slipstream to his teammate. Already working together, the two Mercedes, himself and Yorson Sealy the one in front. Let's go back down towards the Ferrari then of Connor. I'm just going to get the chat up now, so apologies if you have been sending any messages and I haven't got to them just yet. I'm just getting it on now. Good evening. Yes, very good start time indeed. Very nice. That's Connor, 111.0 on the medium tyres. Medium tyres, 111.0. Very solid effort from him. As Yorson City, we couldn't quite get to him, but it's a 114.1, so a slow first lap from him. But he's got Kennedy directly behind, so the two Mercedes working together. Who'd have thought that? Yorson Sealy and Kennedy working together. And now Hazer, is he going to go quicker to 110.999? Well, he is sub 111 just about, and it is P3 on his second hot lap on the same used tyres. Rusted Bolt will be next across the line. The two Aston Martins going out, Hybrid and Mr. Poem. As Rusted Bolt will now just cross the line, and we'll see where he can go. P5, 111.2, similar to Hazer, used tyres as well. And now you've got the Alfa Romeo, and it is Destroyer Drac just about to start his lap, although he's not using any battery, so he may just be going for a second slow lap. He hasn't validated actually, so he invalidated his next lap. So sadly for Drac, he won't be going again. Apparently there is water around in the race. Water, okay. There is rain in the race, apparently, so that will make things more interesting. What sort of strategies do you go for? What setups do you go for? Do you risk a dry setup, or do you want to go for a wet setup around here? Well, either way, the two Mercedes is P7 and P8 for Kennedy and Yorson City. Less than a tenth of a second between them. So again, very competitive between those two, the former Tier 2 top two drivers, effectively. Currently P7 and P8. As Connor again will cross the line, he will go for another run on his medium tyres. Hayes is still out on track. Is he going to go again or go into the pit? I think he's going back in. And I do envision his teammate Rusted Bolt will follow suit. So the two AlphaTauris have done 2 laps on their same tyres and are going into the pit lane. Connor still going and still pushing on with his mediums. Wonder how long he will stay out there for. So Hybrid is still going round. Didn't actually give the slipstream towards his teammate, it seems. Maybe waiting for him later in the lap. And you've also got Destroyer Drac, who yep, he didn't set at that time, but he is back round and he is well beyond turn 1. So now just heading into turns 3 and 4. A little bit slippery at times, certainly through sectors 1 and 2 round here. As Destroyer Drac sets a purple sector 1, maybe one to watch in the Alfa Romeo tonight. As Hybrid will be one of those just about to come through. He's got 60% battery left, so he hasn't really used it all. He's got an Alpine, not really knowing what they're doing. And it would have been the other Alpine, it would have been Tajani, but he wasn't on a lap, I do not believe. He just tried to push though, so I'm not sure what the Alpine exactly was doing then. In all fairness, that could have been deemed quite poor from Tajani's perspective, because Hybrid did seem to be on some sort of lap. He was still using battery at that point, so whether it was intentional or not, but I think Tajani may have been wiser to stay out of the way. Destroyer Drac just coming up to the line now, and it's P8, 111.559. Not quite a purple time, but I do think there's a hash coming through. It's not medium, it was going to be his teammate, and it is where is his teammate at the moment? There was a time, it was Judge Santi, sorry, there you go, 111.657. He puts himself into the top 10. Tajani purple through sector 2, improving by 0.2 of a second. That won't be enough to go quickest, however. And maybe enough to go 111.4s, 111.5s, but it won't be quicker than a 111.8. Well, it will be quicker than 111.8, but it won't be quicker than any of those in the top 4, maybe not even in the top 5. He'll be looking around Wizard Rex at this moment in time. Around P6 could be where Tajani may go, but we'll see as he leads up to the line now. And it is a 111.5, and it is P8, just splitting Kennedy and Destroyer Drac right now. 4 drivers in the 111.5s, in fact. Mr. Poem coming up to the line now, and it's P5 of 111.018 with the aid of some slipstream. Very good time indeed, as medium does go quickest, and it's the first driver to set a sub 110. So 109.954. Medium is absolutely flying here. Sorry, wait, what? Mr. Poem has DNF'd. Oh, Mr. Poem is into the wall, and that is the session done. And it is full qualifying, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen. 111.018, and Mr. Poem is out. And he won't take part in Q2. He may be able to get himself effectively in the top 15. But now that complicates things a little bit more. So there is a time being set, and it was the Williams of Merck, 111.5. But now that makes things interesting, because Mav has effectively dropped out, as you would expect, because of his qualifying ban. But Mr. Poem may still survive. He may remain in the top 15 drivers in the session. With a 111.0, it looks very much possible that he can comfortably advance. So it makes things very much intriguing. Hybrid just coming up to the line now. It's a 111.996. He's about 1.5 tenths away from Coffee, and here comes Usamach, and he goes up to P3, 110.851, and there you go. It should see the Alfa Romeo sailing through. Now we've got to wait on the McLaren of Pesci to improve, and his Coffee improving he's not, and he's used all of his battery as well, so he's going to have to try and go again, as he is currently in the drop zone. Merck also pushing his car around the track. He's directly behind Pesci. So we'll go aboard and with the McLaren here. And where will Pesci, your title contender, leading the Tier 1 Championship? As he's just vying through to turns 12 and 13 right now. And on the exit, and leading onto the line, Pesci with a 110.5 goes second fastest. And that will see the McLaren into Q2. So Merck decided not to improve there. P14 at the moment. So Merck may be in a little bit of trouble, and of course, again, you've got to factor in Mr. Poem's 111.018. So effectively, Merck is basically P15 in this session, because Mr. Poem right now would be P8. So anybody below Rusted Bolt or below, P8 or down, you're pretty much effectively one place lower than you are, apart from those in the drop zone. So Merck is effectively P15, Yours Sincerely is effectively P14, Drac is effectively P13, etc, etc. So watch out for that because of that Mr. Poem DNF with a 111.0. Got to really factor it in, and makes it a little bit trickier to figure things out come the end of the session. But we've got 4 drivers in the drop zone: Judge Santi, Coffee, Hybrid and Tabo, who can still all improve. The only one who won't will be Mav, but Mav won't take part. Mr. Poem will not take part in Q2 as well. You reckon I'm safe? I would personally believe a 110.8 would be safe. Yes. I think Medium and Pesci are very safe. And I would say Bad Boy Usamach and Lynx are safe, I'd say. And it would be fairly close with Hazer and Connor at the moment, but I would probably presume both Hazer and Connor are safe as well, just about. But I think anybody from P8 down right now needs to go again, I would say. So we'll go on with the Williams of Tabo, who does need to improve. And also, you've also got Yours Sincerely. How high up is he at the moment? He's just into Sector 1. Wizard Rex, meanwhile, it's also in Sector 1. So we'll go back down towards Yours Sincerely, but it's not improving. So therefore, we'll stick away and we'll go back to the Williams of Tabo. This will be his first hot lap that we've seen from him. Can he get himself out of Q1? Because that is everything that they're fighting for right now. I'm a little bit surprised Medium hasn't retired from the session just yet, though. I think once you see Medium do it, then you may see Pesci do it, and then after that, or the other way around, you might see Pesci do it, and then Medium might decide, yeah, I agree. But I think those top 2 are absolutely clear as day safe. But then everybody up to P7 below those top 2, I think they're safe, but you may just want to see what others are doing at the moment. So Judge Santi, I do believe, improved. P8, 111.161 for the hash driver. And here comes Tabo, invalidated low. It would have been a 111.4, which would have pushed him out of the bottom 5. But Tabo invalidated his lap, so there's no time being set from him. Yours sincerely just about to start his hot lap as well. And you then got Coffee in the Alpine just heading round a hairpin down at turn 10. I'm still waiting on some of those up the order to retire from the session, but none of them have done so yet. None of them feeling overly secure, clearly. Although I definitely think the top 2 are more than secure, but here comes Coffee, as he is just about to start his lap, in fact, so it's not a hot lap on this occasion from the Alpine. So he's going to go again. He's got 1 minute 40 to go, so if you're not out right now, you need to be out, or you're done. Bad Boy P3 has decided that he thinks he's safe, and I would presume he is safe as well. We're just going to stick with yours sincerely. What about Tajani? Where's he at the moment? Through, as he's improving by a 10th. And now we're going to start seeing the retirements. Wizard Rex has retired as well. He's P10, a 111.4. Again, factor in, he was 4 tenths slower than Mr. Poem. So, and again, Mr. Poem right now is effectively P8. So makes things tricky. I'm not sure if Wizard P10 is safe, you know. Yours sincerely goes P10 himself. It pushes Wizard down a place. And now it is squeaky bum time, as Tajani will be leading up to the line. Here comes the Flying Dutchman. Can he get himself safer than what he is? It's a 111.3, goes P11 as well. And an improvement from Kennedy. And it's P12. Wizard is down to P13, effectively P14. Wizard is in trouble. Coffee is next to lead up to the line. Currently 17th fastest. He's got to improve on this run. He is improving. Is he improving enough? It's P9. Coffee is through. Wizard will be out surely if there's an improvement. And Wizard Rex is out. Wizard is out of qualified. Hybrid is through. Tabo or Hybrid to make it through. Tabo is done. He hasn't validated his run. He will not get through. Merc is now pushing on. Drac is pushing on. They both need to improve as well. It's not over for these two. Hybrid may still be out. Kennedy may still be out as well. Watch out. Watch out for these lap times. We're going to go with Merc first. He's improving by about a 10th through Sector 1. Drac is improving even more. So Drac is going slightly quicker than Merc right now. We'll stick with the Williams. These two are going to make it tough. So yours sincerely is through. Tajani will be through as well. Again, I will just double check these two are not on lap times. They are not. So P12 and up are all through into Q2. But there's a battle between 4 drivers right now. Drac improving by 2.5 tenths of a second. He may be doing enough. We're now on board of Merc. The checkered flags are out in Q1. Who is going to be safe? Who will be sorry? As Merc now leading up into turns 12 and 13. Again, avoid the wall of champions. You want to get onto the curb and onto the main straight. The Williams and Merc across the line. He is into Q2. And Destroyer Drac will follow him through. And he is out. Unbelievable. Destroyer Drac with a 111.370. He was improving through sectors 1 and 2. He has lost time in sector 3. Destroyer Drac is out of qualifying. Unbelievable drama right at the very end, and it's only Q1 and we've had this much drama. But Destroyer Drac is out, Hybrid is out, Wizard Rex is out. He decided to retire in the pit lane. He thought he'd done enough, he did not do enough. He is out. Mav has a qualifying ban. Wait, what? Okay, sorry, coffee. Yep, no worries. So Mav has a qualifying ban, but he's still ahead of Tabo because Tabo could not get a lap time in. He kept invalidating, but it's P20 for him. So your bottom 5 there. And the biggest surprise for me, but to be fair, I mean, I'm not too shocked about the likes of Hybrid and Tabo, if I'm honest. Hybrid obviously tier 2 anyway, so that's never really a surprise, especially with the quality that you've got on show. And Tabo couldn't get a lap time in anyway. But the biggest surprise for me in terms of the bottom 5, I'm going to say, oh, it's close, you know. They're both good drivers. They're both drivers who I would have maybe thought would be in Q2. I mean, Destroyer Drac on his day can have pace, but so can Wizard, and Wizard is probably consistent as well. So in all fairness, you could argue they're both a little bit surprising, but then you look up to the top 14 plus Mr. Poem and you think, okay, maybe it's not a big surprise. It just shows anyone can get eliminated in Q1 at any given time. And that is what's happened with Destroyer Drac and Wizard Rex. Next week, I'm sure, providing it's not a sprint, of course, next week could very easily be anyone else in that top 14, top 15. So, yeah, very unfortunate. They will have more tyres available to them in the race, of course, so don't rule out a two-stopper or a use of the soft compound tyres, perhaps. But they are both out, unfortunately, for Destroyer Drac and Wizard Rex. But here we go. Q2 will begin. 15 minutes. It's all about getting yourself into the top 10 again, though. Mr. Poem not in the session. P15 it will be. So we're down to 14 drivers for this session. But wow, I've got to say, medium was incredibly quick, though, in Q1. And then, who was the other driver? It was Pesci, second place, but he was still about half a second off. So let's see how we get on through this session. We're going to get on... Okay, we'll go to the tyres. But what I'm thinking is the gap to the leader. Which will make it a little bit easier to see, especially if somebody DNFs, then you can see exactly where they'd fit in. So first driver out, again, it's the AlphaTauri, and it is Hazer. One good thing about being in the AlphaTauri, to be fair, is you can get out on the track fairly quickly. To be fair, surprisingly, I've been doing that a little bit. Right, let's see then what is currently going on. But yeah, it's going to be a wet race, which makes things interesting. Right. I think I lost 2/10 in the last chicane being over quarters, not to invalidate. Yeah, I had a feeling it was probably going to be around turns 12 and 13, to be fair. But you were definitely improving, and if you kept the same improvement, you would have been through. But again, it may not necessarily be a bad thing around here, but I do envision you're going to get quite a few DRS trains around here. Or there may just be one massively long DRS train. It depends how quick the likes of Medium and Pesci and Connor as well. How quick will these guys be when they're at the front of the field? Hazer obviously probably be up there as well. Usamach could be up there. Be interesting if we get one or two surprises to be up there as well in the race. We shall see. Hazer now just starting his lap. Through into turns 1 and 2 for the virage. And beyond into turns 3 and 4. Again, another little chicane for you to navigate through. And once you get onto medium or hard tyres, once your tyres start to wear, then Sector 1 becomes a little bit slippery, as can Sector 2 as well. Sector 3 seems to be alright normally, but it's normally Sector 1 and 2 which can catch drivers out. Obviously, again, turns 12 and 13, you may get some track limits around here, so watch out for that as well. Purple Sector 1, of course, from Hazer, so it's a 42.0 for him. I don't have much pace in Canada, I'll happily take top 10 on track. Fair enough. I think it'll be a lot of it will be about avoiding track limit penalties, however. So if you can avoid a 3 seconds, 6 seconds, whatever it may be, then yeah, definitely that would be the best way to go about it, I'd say. Coming from a driver who would probably get a penalty round here, a track limit. It's a 1:10.7 from Hazer. I do wonder if that's on fresh or used tyres. Tajani invalidated his lap, however, so it's not going in for him. And Kennedy just starting as well. Bad Boy is also invalidated, so a few invalidations going on first runs here. And now we'll go with Coffee leading up to the line, but again he's not pushing on. So of course 2 seconds off, but not using his battery there. As Pesci 1:10.6 does go quickest. It's about a tenth of a second separating himself and the AlphaTauri of Hazer. You're sincerely 8 tenths off, but he is in P3. Again, all about top 10. Are Pesci and Hazer through with their times? Connor 1/10 off. He goes third fastest. Obviously, we're going to have to watch out for where Medium will go. He's just on track on an outlap at the moment. Kennedy is pushing on. Bad Boy leads up to the line. No time from him. Link's Peace also on a lap time. And the Haas of Medium just starting his hot lap now through turns 1 and 2. Get the impression of wonder again if he's on used tyres or not. Now here comes Tajani across the line. It is 1 second off, 1:11.6 for him. Not the best of times, you know. Not the quickest. Kennedy goes second fastest, a 1:10.7. But it's Link's Peace with a 1:10.6. And there are just over a tenth of a second between the top 5 drivers here. As Coffee goes 6th fastest himself, 3.5 tenths off. But it's still a good effort from him. Can he push himself up with the top dogs here? We will see. So into the pits now, a few drivers go. Connor may also join them, and I think he will. Never mind, I'll go back down towards Medium then. And Bad Boy, I think, may also be on a lap. Where is he at the moment? He's invalidated again. So we'll go back towards Medium. So Medium's first run in Q2. He was quickest by some margin in Q1. And will he get himself back into the 1:10s? He is 1:10.0. He did set a sub 1:10 last time around. But he's still almost 6 tenths of a second faster than the rest of the field. So there you go. Medium looking very, 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 very strong, shall we say, around here. A few drivers just going very slowly, including Tajani, and I think it would have been Kennedy as well. Usamach did put himself 4th fastest, 6 tenths of a second behind. I'm going to go back to the fastest laps. Officially, it's a 1:10.659 for the Alfa Romeo. So you've got Coffee going slowly. They both seem to have a little bit of a partnership at the moment. The two Alpines just talking to each other, I'm sure. But the chat's over. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're still talking to each other. Right, Rusted Bolt at the moment. He's currently 9th fastest, but at 1:11.2 he will be able to improve on lap run. Obviously, don't forget, with full qualifying, the track does go quicker every time you go out on it as well. With the track evolution, of course. Judge Santi does seem to be going a bit quicker as well. And the Ferrari of Connor goes 2nd fastest. It's a 1:10.2. Maybe Connor could be the one to contest with Medium for pole here. Obviously got to factor in as well that Connor did only go on medium tyres last session. So Merck goes P9 as well. Bolt still P10, but he's the car directly behind Judge Santi. So we'll stick with Judge Santi then and see what lap time he can power himself through into turns 12 and 13 then. Here comes Judge Santi again. Every driver trying to avoid the wall of champions as much as possible. And Judge Santi, 1:10.7. He goes 8th fastest. And now down towards Rusted Bolt. But he's not improving on that run, so he will push again. He is currently in the drop zone. Merck as well on the cusp in P10. The Ferrari of Connor taking it slowly and will allow the Red Bull of, I believe, Bad Boy to go through again. Bad Boy, however, of course, did invalidate his attempts previously, so got to try and make sure he keeps it within track limits if he can. Russell Bolt improving by 3 tenths of a second through sector 1, so that should be, hopefully, with that sort of improvement, it can be enough for him. And Merck as well, just taking it slowly, perhaps trying to recharge, but it may go straight into the pit lane. Indeed he is. So therefore we'll go back to Rusted Bolt, as he's just hovering around the hairpin at the moment, beyond turns 10 and 11 now. He will lead forward into turns 12 and 13. And let's see where Rusted Bolt can place the AlphaTauri. His teammate Hazer only P7 right now. Hazer will know he can go quicker. Rusted Bolt can go quicker, and I'm sure he will. Here comes Rusted Bolt up to the line. It's a 1:11.1, not the improvement he was looking for. Only 1.5 tenths, and it's only P11 still for Rusted Bolt. Yours sincerely back on track. Tajani pushing again as he's just about to start his lap, and we go towards Bad Boy on this occasion. The Red Bull yet to set a lap time. Again, all about getting into the top 10 in Q2. Yellow flags, I think there may have been for yours sincerely. Just moving out of the way, I presume, off the Alpine of Tajani. But here comes Bad Boy, leading up to the line. It's a 1:10.5. That is more like it from the Red Bull, and it is third fastest. And that now pushes Merck into the drop zone, as Tajani was, I do believe he was improving. I did just miss the delta. I'm sure you guys probably saw it. But let's see. I'm pretty sure I did see a minus there, so it should see an improvement. Let's see through Sector 2, however, from Tajani. And it is 0.6 of a second of an improvement so far. Tajani will also push himself a sub 1:11 if he keeps up with this improvement. So we'll stick with the Flying Dutchman here. Definitely will improve on P14. Should be able to get himself into the top 10 on this time. But then after that, he will probably need to go again. So again, avoiding the track limits neatly. And here we go. Leading up to the line comes Tajani Brinkman. And he pushes himself through with a 1:10.6 into P7. He will need to go again, but it's still a solid lap time. Get the impression Bad Boy will be one asking me, oh, do you think I'm through? Well, I'm going to be honest, a 1:10.5 may just be on the cusp. Because that is pretty tricky. I think the top two are through. Again, I think Medium and Connor have done enough, but Bad Boy's time may or may not be enough. So I think he may risk going again. He may risk, however, hoping that's enough to get himself through. So we'll go back towards drivers on laps. I do think yours sincerely, he was improving, marginal improvement through Sector 1. Therefore we'll stick with the Mercedes into Sector 2. 1:11.4 at the moment, the time to beat. And he will be pushing the current Tier 2 champion here in Tier 1. Got himself into Q2 very nicely. And it is currently only improving by 0.5 of a second. I don't think Orton Sealy's got enough in this lap. He may need to abort it and go straight into the pit lane here, you know. Because this is not going to be enough to get himself through into Q3. Hopefully he will have a fresh set of tyres available. But I feel like he may not, you know. He is going into the pit, so he clearly felt that was not enough of an improvement. And to be fair, it wasn't. Kennedy has invalidated, but he's going to be able to go again. Actually, nope, he's into the pit as well, so the two Mercedes both in. And that means there's nobody on a lap. Well, actually, Hazer is on a lap, so he's deciding that a 1:10.7 was definitely not enough. Hopefully that was on a scrub set of tyres as well from Hazer, because I'm sure he may feel he's got some pace, and hopefully he'll have pace around here as well. So it's a 1:10.7 that he's currently got, and he's improving, but only marginal. Through Sector 1, less than 0.5 of a second. He's got to improve by more than this, Hazer, if he wants to get himself into Q3. The fact that we're talking about not pole, but getting into Q3 for Hazer doesn't seem normal, but that is currently what the stipulation is in Tier 1. But there you go, that's better from Hazer. 0.3 of a second, an improvement through Sector 2. And now this time should be enough to see Hazer into Q3. And here we go, we keep on board with him. And this will be a quick enough time through into turns 12 and 13. Just got to keep it together now. There you go, very neat and tidy. And here comes Hazer across the line. It's a 1:10.3 and it will put him third fastest. And that should see the AlphaTauri into Q3 as well. So we'll just let the Mercedes, I believe, go. Okay, nope, never mind. The Mercedes is letting him go. I do presume that will be yours sincerely going again. Indeed it is. So Russell Bolt now is on a hot lap and into Sector 2. Improving by 1.5 of a second. So is that going to be enough for him? What about Coffee as well? He seems to be going slowly. So we'll go back towards Bolt. Again, all about getting into the top 10. Or is Judge Santi on a lap as well? No, he's not. Did he invalidate that? Through the chicane. I'm just going to keep watching with Santi for now. No, he didn't, so that's okay. We're going to go back towards Russell Bolt then and just see what his lap time will be. Is Bolt through 1:11.0? It's not enough. And Russell Bolt, P12. And I think Bolt is out of qualifying in the AlphaTauri. As Coffee is on a push lap. Judge Santi will be going as well. And he's improving by 0.5 of a second. Tajani. He improved on that run by 1 second on the last one, 1:10.6 for him. We'll see what he's like through Sector 1. That's just biding his time into turns 6 and 7 now. He's not improving, however. Is Tajani going to be in any trouble to get through into Q3? That is the question. Usamat will go again. I do feel like Hazer is through. I think Bad Boy, to be honest with you, I think he's just about through as well. So Pesci going again as well. 110.6 for him. Salty Stevens supporting his Mercedes team. Well, at the moment, P9 and P14 both are currently in the drop zone. So we'll go back towards the Alpine of Coffee then on his hot lap, and this will be it for the Alpine. Has he done enough to get himself through? As he is about to cross the line now. It's a 110.7 and he's into the top 10. But only just by 7 thousandths of a second, with Kennedy on a lap, Merck on a lap now as well into Sector 1. We've got 5 seconds to go. Yorkson City is improving, but again, not improving enough. And I think it will be P14, and that will be that for him. As Putch saying Jaden Lackin. Well, yeah, he's not going to get through on this run, but it's still going to be P14 for him. 111.310. So Yorkson City also will join Russell Bolt in being out of qualifying. So Usamat will try and settle the scores for him. P4, and Usamat will make himself through into Q3 as well. Let's go down towards Pesci through into turns 12 and 13 also, and I should also see Pesci through. Let's see the McLaren just secure his place, and indeed third fastest. Pesci is into the next session. Link's Peace is next, not improving. Is Link's in any trouble? P7, he does improve on that run. Further down, Merck goes P12. He is also out. Coffee has squeezed into the session. By 7 thousandths of a second, Coffee has knocked out Kennedy. Merck has not made it through, Russell Bolt has not made it through, and Yorkson City is also out. That is qualifying done. So Coffee is into Q3. The two Alpines, by the skin of their teeth, have edged through. Judge Santi is also through. And there you go, everyone else in the top 7 are also through. So there you go, congratulations. The two Alpines are the ones who have squeezed in. As Merck says, Santi got in the way, so could that mean a potential qualifying ban for round 4 for Judge Santi? It's very potential for that. And obviously penalty points on top. So we'll see. Obviously we'll now need to have a good look at it. But could be a penalty coming for Judge Santi for next week. But anyways, that's the top 10 then. And the two Alpines have just about done enough here in the form of Tajani. And in particular, Coffee. Tajani did actually invalidate that final run, which is maybe why he didn't quite improve by how much he was hoping for. Although I do think he was going slowly anyway. But there you go. Two Alpines have done enough. But now it will be all about the battle for pole position. Who will take it? I think Medium has got to be the favourite. He's been quickest through Q1 and Q2 so far. But can you rule out drivers like Connor, Pesci and Hazer? Maybe Usamatch could be up there as well. So we could see some competition for pole, but Medium does seem to be the favourite for pole right now. I'm also going to be interesting. How many fresh tyres do people have as well? Also seeing that there could be a potential penalty coming the way of Bad Boy as well. Just going above what's going on in the chat. Obviously, Rusty Bolt, relax a little bit. Just send in the clip. That's clearly not how you spell send. I shall correct that. Right, now we're into Q3. Again, will Hazer be the first to go out? It's still dry in qualifying at least. Allow me. To be fair, I would personally say I think Yorson City done well to get himself into Q2 anyway. In all fairness, because listen, it is a stacked grid here in Tier 1 this season. I know the top drivers like Medium, Pesci, Hazer, Connor will maybe think, oh, it's fairly easier for those guys to get themselves through, but when you're maybe 5th, 6th fastest downwards, then it becomes a little bit more technical and challenging to get yourself through. So yeah, I personally think the two Mercedes done themselves well to get themselves to P11 and P14. I think Coffey's done really well to get himself into the top 10, I've got to say. If there's a qualifying drive of the day, it would go to Coffey, in my opinion. He's perhaps the bigger surprise to actually be in Q3. You know, taking into account as well, he finished behind both Yorson, Seeley and Kennedy in Tier 2 last season. And yet he's the only former Tier 2 driver, including Wizard Rex as well. He's the only former Tier 2 driver of last season to be in Q3. And again, if I look at the grid, he's the only former Tier 2 driver to be in Q3 as well, because none of those other 9 drivers have been in Tier 2 before. So Coffey is the only one. And obviously Coffey was also in Tier 3 before that. So the fact that Coffey's made his way up from Tier 3 to Tier 2 to Tier 1, where he's now in Q3 at Canada, fair play to him. He's done very well to do that. And along the way, Coffey hasn't even won a championship, has he? I don't even think he hasn't even been in the top 2, right? Because I'm pretty sure in Tier 3 he finished 3rd, I believe, behind Willie Fernandez and King Luke that season. And then last season he finished behind Yorson, Seeley and Kennedy. So again, yeah, Coffey has not even finished in the top 2 in any championship. And yet here he is in Tier 1 in Q3. Brilliant from him, I've got to say. So we've got Hazer again going fastest through this session. But it's all about who has the freshest tyres available to them. Obviously in Q3 you get an extra set of fresh soft compound tyres. So you pretty much will use that. But will you use any other fresh sets that you have, or will you decide, you know what, I'm going to keep them just in case for the race? So Tajani Brinkman is quickest then, 1:10.9. We're going to go back towards Hazer. Ferrari of Connor now goes quickest, 1:10.2. And let's compare them with the AlphaTauri of Hazer. But at the moment, Connor, one of the closest contenders to medium. I do feel like medium will still take it, but Hazer's invalidated, so he's not going to get a run in on that tyre. And now Coffey will come through and across the line. It's a 1:10.4. 1:10.4 for Coffey. Usamat's 1:10.3, but Coffey again flying out of the blocks. Impressive from him. And now you've got the two Haas drivers. Santi starting a lap, but here comes Medium to finish his lap. And will this be enough for pole? It's a 1:09.749. And Medium is half a second, up on the rest of the field. So we go back down. Bad Boy will go for a lap now in the Red Bull. And Hazer, well, is he going to get himself into the pits, or will he go one more time on that set of tyres? That is the question. Judge Santi is now pushing his way forward. So into the pits goes Connor, and into the pits goes Tajani, and Pesci is still in the pits, although I do believe he is just coming out now. Bad Boy, 19.5 through Sector 1. Let's go back down and towards Judge Santi. See where the Haas can place his car, because at the moment the two Haas get themselves into Q3 nicely, particularly in the form of Medium, who I do believe will go pole. I've said that for quite a while actually. Now the question is, who will start on the front row alongside Medium right now, because surely nobody else has it in them to beat that time. It's a 1:10.8 for Judge Santi, just ahead of Tajani. He goes P5. And Hazer is going to go again, so he's obviously got enough fuel on board to run one more lap, which is interesting. Down here at Canada, so he's going to go again. And then Bad Boy invalidated again. He's definitely having the invalidations tonight. And he's even invalidated his next run as well. Oh, It's raining! There's rain on track. That will be it. Medium's got pole. And this may be very close to your grid order. And there you go, more drama because there's rain on track. And Bad Boy is DNF'd. And Coffee is retired and he's happy with a 1:10.4. Coffee, 4th place in Q3. Whoa, that was close. And now, I'm sure drivers like Pesci is very frustrated with why he didn't go out earlier. But you know what? They can still all get P7 effectively. Him, Hazer and Lynx. That's pretty much what they're fighting for. Hazer needs to go again. And really, he couldn't really afford that invalidation because he could have still got P7, but he may not get it. Lynx has also done the same. So Pesci may be the leading candidate to get the best of the rest right now, which would be P7. Judge Santi and Hazer has decided he is not going to go again. He didn't know. He didn't know that people have not set times behind him. And also Bad Boy hasn't set a time. So Hazer could have still set a time and been ahead of Bad Boy. I think that's a mistake from him. But look how wet it is getting on track, Claire. It is pouring down now at Gilles Villeneuve. As Pesci is just finishing his lap on the soft tyres. Got to say, he's done remarkably well to keep it well within track limits. Through turns 12 and 13. And across the line of 1:13.9. That will be P7. Is he going to stay P7? And that is now the question for him. But I think that all of Lowe's at the front, Medium and Usamatch Tajani can all retire from the session now. Because let's be honest, you're not going to improve. DRS has been disabled as well. That will be it. Medium will take pole. Qualifying is effectively over, but Link's piece will go again and try and secure a higher place. So I think Hazer has made a bigger mistake, however. He could have got, I don't know if he could have got P7, but he certainly could have been around Pesci, surely. For me, that's a mistake, and it's very interesting that the rain has come out because that's seen Pesci and Hazer drop lower than where they probably should be. Here we go, Link's piece will come up to the line. He doesn't even need to go really quick. He can just take his time, make sure you don't invalidate. There you go. And all Link's piece needs to do is just set a lap time. It will be enough to get him P8, and that will be it for qualifying. So there you go. We finished qualifying with 4 minutes to go. Yep, literally, I know I was saying that throughout, Coffee. You've done really, really well to get 4th place. Yeah. I mean, not even just a former Tier 2 driver, you were a former Tier 3 driver as well. So the fact that you're up there in P4 is quite astounding. So yeah, really strong. Usamatch has got the Inters. I wonder if Usamatch may decide, you know what, I'm going to do a lap or two on the intermediates. Taking into account it may be raining in the race as well. And I do believe Usamatch is going to give us some intermediate running. That'll make things a little bit interesting. So he's going to be the only one, unless Link's piece does the same, or Pesci could do the same thing, you know. Does Pesci decide, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do it. I think he is. He's going into us. So Link's piece might try and do the same thing. He might get 1 lap out of it, but he won't get more than that. He's got to go a bit quicker than this, though. As he ran out of fuel, I believe he may have run out of fuel. So I don't think Lynx is going to be able to get get a lap time in on the Inters. So we're going to go on board with Usamatch then. So it's all down to him and Pesci, who I'm sure Pesci may as well go out now and do a lap on those intermediates. And I do think, yep, he is going. So we've got 2 drivers who are going to get 1 lap on these intermediate tyres. Well, this will be interesting. No, honestly, you've done a remarkable job, Coffee. Honestly. Alright, let's stick here then with Usamatch. Through to turns 12 and 13, and this will be his 1 and only intermediate run of qualifying in preparation effectively for the race. Obviously, none of the other drivers have been able to do in this session. Obviously, in your practice time, you may have been able to do that. But Usamatch and Pesci have the opportunity to do it now. Link's piece, I don't think he'll have a chance. He might try and change and get out, but he won't be able to cross the line to start a lap. Let's see then, Usamatch, about 3 seconds off in Sector 1, okay. Obviously we're not expecting purple sectors, or green sectors even. So we're just wanting to see how they'll be compared to their own sector times as well. So Usamatch just now leading through into turn 10 round at the hairpin. And it is a 48-0 through the sector 2 split time. Pesci now is just about to start his lap. 50 seconds to go for Usamatch and Pesci in this session. As Link's piece has decided he's not going to go again. Let's see, as Usamatch will now lead up to the line. And it will be, what time will Usamatch set on the intermediates? And it is a 1:19.7 for Usamatch. Pesci was 2. Pesci's invalidated as a time, however. And he's skidding around a little bit. Does not bode well, potentially for the McLaren round here. If he's sliding round like that, I thought Usamatch done pretty well. And now it makes me wonder if medium has got a dry setup on compared to everyone else. There may be other drivers out there who've decided, you know what, I'm going to go for a wet setup or a more conservative setup. Again, makes things interesting for the race, but Pesci now has done his qualifying, done his dues, and that will be that for qualifying. Himself and Usamatch. Usamatch going to go again, see if he can improve on this run. Just around the hairpin now comes the Alfa Romeo. So Pesci will come up to the line. It would have been 6.1 seconds. So it would have been in the 1:26s to be fair, which is pretty decent from Pesci. Is Pesci going quicker right now? The 1:16. No, sorry, that would have been a 1:19, wouldn't it? Never mind, I was lying. Right, Usamatch up to the line now. And a 1:10 it showed. No, it was 1:19s from Usamatch, but that's qualifying done anyway. So Usamatch and Pesci got a little bit of testing on the intermediates. Nobody else was able to. But it is medium who takes pole position. So there you go. Full result for you. Medium Connor, Usamatch Coffee, Santi Tajani, Pesci Links, Bad Boy Hazer. Hazer, I think, made a mistake not trying to go out and try and complete a lap. Because if he was able to, he may have got P7 himself. So that is currently the difference, effectively, between P10 versus P7 or P8 at least. So in the lounge, Kennedy saying, thanks Usamatch for giving us something to watch. Thank you for the rain. For the P6, says Tajani. Yep, it done you good. Still think, obviously, there were mistakes made from drivers behind, not getting their runs in. Pesci behind you, P7, not ideal. Right, so it will be dry for the race start, but there are a little bit of grey clouds in the air, so it suggests to me that this should be rain for the race. I don't know if anybody knows in the chat, when is the rain expected? If it says, it would be nice to know if it's expected late in the race or early in the race maybe. But going by the clouds, I don't imagine it to be too early. But yeah, if anybody knows, feel free to please let me know. "30 minutes into the race." Okay. Thank you. Thank you to Johnny for that. So about half an hour into the race, which I would expect, if we try and do the maths down here, it's about 75 seconds for a lap time on medium hard softs with full fuel. So 10 laps, 7.5, 15. Okay. So it will come a bit later in the race though. It'll be interesting, because now you could still factor in it may still be a two-stop strategy with everybody may need to pit anyway, before the rain arrives. But then some may go hards and stay out until the rain. So make things interesting. What do you choose to do? Do you decide that you're going to wait solely on the rain, or do you decide you're going to one stop and then wait for the rain to arrive? We'll find out, but I'll be back in a couple of minutes' time. Right, we are back then, and we will be getting rocking and rolling here in Tier 1. Let's see how things go. Rain will be expected around half an hour into the race, but again, it's only an approximation. It could come at any point, it could come sooner, it could come later. So now the strategies become crucial. Do you rely, if you're on hard tyres, for the rain to arrive sooner maybe? Here we go, it's 5 lights. And we're underway already. A quick start with medium at the front of the field. Yellow flags are out. I'm not too sure why. but we're going side by side with the Ferrari on the inside, medium on the outside, but has Connor got through? He's spun a little bit, half spin, yellow flags further back for Destroyer. Drac, I believe, medium still leads, Usamat in second, and they're flying round side by side into turns 3 and 4, unbelievable stuff, and Connor on the outside line, but Judge Santi has got through, medium tries to hold him, and will lose the place as a result. Pesci on, oh no, spin further back. I think I say it not to Johnny, it's Coffee. Coffee has spun, and P4 has gone to dust for Coffee. He's unfortunately right at the very back now, alongside Drac and Wizard and Tabo as well. Everyone else are fighting the 2 Red Bulls trading places. As Bad Boy gets ahead, Kennedy and Lynx going at it side by side, Hazer in behind them. And they're all going at it here in Tier 1. It's been a frantic start with the rain expected later in the race, and the top 2, Medium and Usamat, already breaking away, and now they're going at it already. Look behind, unbelievable, as the 2 Red Bulls have Kennedy for company through turns 12 and 13, and now to turn 1, Medium leading the way, but he has Usamat right behind him. Who has got wet setups on? Who has got dry setups on? Because that rain will be coming later on. As the 2 AlphaTauris, P10 and P11, not great, but they have got the 2 Red Bulls and a Mercedes ahead, as Bad Boy already picks up a 3-second time penalty. So early penalty for Bad Boy in P9. And he is just directly behind Kennedy. So there you go, big penalty to come from him. Merc is all over the AlphaTauris now, 0.2 of a second. Has Merc got himself in a position to threaten and target the AlphaTauris? Well, not quite, he will hang in behind there, but it's a great battle here in the midfield, and Merc may be about to go for it here. Let's see, around into the hairpin, down at turn 10. Has Merc got himself a chance? Not quite. Yorkson Searly also in this battle, staying in DRS, and we're going to go further up the field because Pesci is now trying to make a break for it alongside Connor. They've got Judge Santi up ahead. Santi has lost a lot of time to Medium and Usamat, who are flying away here. And in Tier 1, a full 20 drivers are on, and they're still going all around. Tabo and Wizard are way down the field, however, and they did have to pit, I believe, as well on lap 1. So not great for the Williams or the McLaren team. As we are right back into things here with Pesci. Of course, DRS will make things easier to overtake if there's only one driver ahead, but it will make things much more tricky if you're in a DRS train, because it won't be too beneficial for many drivers. And also further back again, Merc getting very close to the AlphaTauri here of Russell Bolt, and he may have a run here at Russell Bolt as well, but the AlphaTauri just putting away, so he's not letting his rival through at turns 8 or 9, so Bolt will stay ahead on this lovely overshot. I will go back towards Pesci in P5, trying to keep pace as there is a bit of a look up from Pesci to Johnny. Had a look on the inside, and Pesci now will try and dive himself towards Connor and Santi, but Connor is going at Santi now to P3. Connor goes round the outside and flies through, and he has the place on the podium. Santi may come under pressure because it's a double DRS. Here comes Pesci going for the move. Pesci goes through to Johnny's going to try and go through as well, side by side with Judge Santi, and Santi loses 3 places, or has he? Side by side again, Santa Johnny goes through. Santi loses 3 places in the matter of 3 corners. P3 to P6, and Link's piece is directly behind him. The Red Bull may have a dash, he may have a dive, but he stays in behind the Haas driver. Santi losing precious time now, and 0.9 of a second. He may not even have DRS on this run through into turns 8 and 9, but it's been an incredible start here in Tier 1. Drivers trying to make their way through the field. So a lot of drivers are on mediums or hards. Most are on hard tyres. A lot of those in the bottom half of the field are on mediums, a trade of places, as Math takes Yorkson Searly, as up to P13, Yorkson Searly back to where he started in P15. Russell Bolt now is going to think about having a go at Bad Boy. He was very close to the back of the Red Bull, but 0.2 of a second the gap. He may have a run through here, and also further up the field I had to go up because Pesci's going to have a go, is he? No, he stays in behind. But Lynx has a go, and now gets a move done on Santi. Santi's dropping down to P7. Kennedy is next up for him, and Hazer as well. Bolt and Bad Boy further back. Is Bad Boy going to lose his place? He has already lost it. Bolt is now up to P10. Bad Boy, and then you've got Merc in P12 as well. But Russell Bolt is just trying to keep the Red Bull behind him. It's very close between them. And he does break later as a result of a spin! Bad Boy has spun it! Merc may have lost the place, has he? There are yellow flags. I think Merc was behind Mav anyway. But Bad Boy has spun. That's a big damage for him. And now the Red Bull is down to P18. I wonder if he has any damage as well alongside it. They go back towards these three drivers as Bad Boy is out. And a safety car. What has happened here to Bad Boy? He's lost it into the wall there. And that is Bad Boy out of the race. Thank you to Tabo and Wizard for giving us a view on that. Bad Boy is out. The Red Bull will not score any points. So there you go. Now what do you do? Because again, take into account the rain will come. But when the rain comes is not a certainty. The rain is certain, but when it arrives, nothing is certain. F for Bad Boy. Yeah, pretty much. We obviously were on board with the car in front. I think it was Russell Bolt that we were pretty much on board with, obviously with the overshot, but we did catch the spin of Bad Boy, sadly for him. And then he DNF'd it into the wall, which we didn't quite catch, but there you go. I wonder if he had damage or maybe he was pushing it a bit too much. But either way, all of them are already behind the safety car. Makes things very interesting on the strategies. Destroy Drac. Pesci has also gone into the pit. He's gone for fresh mediums now. So, again, everybody's bunched up behind the field. So Pesci for fresh mediums. He is one of only a few drivers who have opted to pit. Those on mediums, not boxing, which is an intriguing call. I'm not sure why Destroyer Drac and Wizard Rex have both gone for softs. Maybe go for a fast lap, potentially. Take into account the fast lap will get you a point as well. So, where we're at with that, let's see. 1:12.8 for medium is the current fastest lap. So, 1:12.7 or better may get you it, but is it worth it for a risk of losing all those places? I mean, Drac didn't lose too much, to be fair. And again, all of those in the bottom four didn't lose a lot. It was only Pesci. Pesci is the only driver who was higher up already, who has lost ground. Because he's down to P15, and I think he was definitely well up into the top 10. He was up in the top 5, I believe. So, is Pesci's strategy cool? Going to work for him? It is a risk. He is obviously leading the championship already. So maybe he feels he can take the risk. But, I don't know. Should he have taken the safe bet and decided to stay out? Either way, he's gone for mediums and he is the driver right now to watch, really. Then he got Drac right behind him on softs. So again, another driver to watch out for will be Destroyer Drac. So Pesci and Drac will be the two really trying to go through the field. Coffee qualified 4 fastest, so again, another driver to watch out for. Those three, Pesci, Drac and Coffee, may work themselves through the field relatively well. The first two drivers for them will be the two Aston Martins. It will be Mr. Poem and Hybrid. And I'm sure Hybrid's going to try and do the very best he can do for his teammate. Got yours sincerely, P12 in the Mercedes. Merc P11 in the Williams, and you got Mav, who is currently in the top 10 in that Ferrari. See if he can work himself further up as well. But now let's go towards medium. Safety car, I presume, will be in next lap. I do wonder if it could be in. Oh, it's in this lap! It's an early call for the safety car. It is in on lap 7, so it will go back to green flag racing on lap 8. That was 1 lap sooner than I was anticipating. A trade of places at the back, but I do think they were there already. And medium has the choice to make, and he goes now. And there you go, Usamatch follows him in. Does anybody lose time? Well, Lynx is pretty close towards Tajani. And in the background now, I'm just trying to see if anybody is directly behind. Well, Pesci already is directly behind on Hybrid, and he's going to have a run at Hybrid, he's going to have a go at Hybrid, but into turns 1 and 2, he stays in behind. Pesci will have the grip, and he clearly will have the grip, and through goes Pesci on Hybrid. He's got the move done, job done already, and your Tier 1 Championship leader, runner-up of last season, has made up 1 place. Next up will be his Tier 1 title contender from last season, the one who he narrowly missed out by, and it will be Mr. Poem. So Poem, Tier 1 champion versus Tier 1 runner-up and Tier 1 title leader, and Pesci now having a run at Mr. Poem. When he go down the inside, he holds off, and they stay exactly as you were. But Pesci is on the better tyres. He is running quicker at the moment, no doubt about it. Poem is all over the rear of Yours Sincerely, and this will be a battle here as Poem edges closer towards Yours Sincerely here. But will Pesci have the run that he needs? He will be using up his battery. I'm sure Yours Sincerely will try to. Poem will do as well. But Pesci, is he going to draw alongside? I don't think he is, you know. As we lead up into turns 12 and 13, Pesci stays directly behind the Aston Martin, as Poem keeps Pesci behind him. This is definitely the battle to watch. Drac has also got himself through on Hybrid, so up to P15 goes Drac on the soft tyres. Does Drac need to pit again? And here's a chance for Pesci. He done the move on Hybrid into turn 2 as well. He's going to do the same move, is he? No, not quite. Mr. Poem was very much aware of that, and he stays ahead. There's a little bit of lagging behind. I'm not sure if it was the Alfa Romeo or the Aston Martin. But either way, let's just stick with these guys. Rusted Bolt's lost a bit of time towards his teammate, and he may be under threat now from Mav. But here comes Pesci down the inside. He tries to go round the outside, in fact, and Pesci has made a move stick. A delightful overtake chance, and Destroyer Jack follows him in, and down the inside goes Destroyer Jack on the soft tyres. Poem tries to fight it on the outside, but round the hairpin, Pesci and Drac, lovely moves, and they're up to P13 and P14 for them. And further down, Tabo trying to fight it out with Coffee, but we're going to go back towards Pesci here. He will go for a move on Yours Sincerely, will he? Not quite, he has to hang in behind. All the battling going on further down the field. DRS enabled. Pesci gets the traction he needs out of the Wall of Champions, and up to P12 he goes. Yours Sincerely will try and fight it, but Pesci is no more, and Pesci is up to P12. He'll be all over the rear of Merck, and already Pesci is flying on those medium tyres. Now further up the field as well, battling still continuing. Judge Santi has lost a lot of time again. I feel like Judge Santi must be on a wet setup here. There's no way. Is it raining already? I'm just trying to check if there are any raindrops here. But only 10 laps in. It would be very much sooner than what we were expecting if there is any rain right now. It doesn't look like it. I know Wizard's got a 3-second time penalty, so he's in a little bit of trouble. Yellow flags. Hybrid is out. Is that it? Safety car called out. Aston Martin of Hybrid is out of the session. Wizard may as well box there, because he's not going to get that 5-second time penalty removed only because he's going to box again. And he's lost his front wing as well, which makes things interesting. How has he lost his front wing? Now, what do you do? Does anybody risk it and go in for intermediates right now? I don't think it's raining now, is it? I'm just trying to watch on the, don't know. Into the pits goes Merck. Into the pits goes Pesci again. Are these guys fielding its intermediates very soon? Let's see what tyres he's going for. He's changing. He's going for softs now. Drac's going intermediate, so we got an intermediate runner already now. Is it too soon? Surely it's too soon. It looks too early for the intermediates, you know. There's our Wizard Rex. Oh, he had to wait for his teammate Pesci, I think. But there you go, we can get rid of that 5-second penalty. And now he can go for soft tyres as well. Change the front wing, and he's back underway. Now, I'm going to be trying to watch the watch on board, because that's the best way, because you can watch the halo and see if you get raindrops. That's what I'm watching out for right now. Still not seeing any rain personally. So Destroyer Jack has taken a massive risk. Oh, it's rain! There is rain on track now. You can see it on Judge Santi. And now you can clearly see it. The rain is fallen. It has arrived here at Canada. And now the drama will resume. And you can see already the rain is making an impact on track. Destroyer track. Has he made a perfect call? Into the pits goes the leaders. Unbelievable. 5-second penalties for Connor. And maybe Usamatch got it as well. And look at Destroyer Drac. He's staying out on the intermediates. He has made an unbelievable call. Destroyer Drac is up to P3 on intermediates. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is incredible. I don't know what's going on with his car. Don't tell me what's going on with his car. I don't know. But he has made an unreal strategy call. He is up to P3. And penalties are absolutely flying around here. As Judge Santi is left. I'm not sure why he's left. Where is he? I can probably give him an invitation. But Destroyer Drac. Cracking strategy call out. Let's give Judge Santi an invitation. If we've got him, which we do. So inviting back into the lobby. So there you go. It is raining. There are penalties as well. So let's have a little look. Who has got the time penalties? So it's a 5-second for Usamatch, who is P4. 5 seconds for Connor, who is P10. Drive-through penalty for Wizard Rex, who is P18. It has not been Wizard Rex's day, has it? But there you go. 5 seconds then for Usamatch and Connor. The only way they can get rid of them is if they do not pit again, which, let's be real, they're both on intermediates. There is a very large chance they can pit again. So I get the impression that the Alfa Romeos may be a little bit in the mud. And Connor as well, by the way. Down in P10. So we got another lap under the safety car. Merck and Mr. Poem have decided that they are staying on mediums. I'm not certain if it's the best call or not. But if they stay out for a few more laps, they may be able to get into to the end. Whereas the others may all need to pit again. So that may be the call they're hoping on. It does make things interesting. Whatever goes on here, it is very intriguing. Bet Drac has some tech thing that tells him the weather, probably with the weather satellite image too. Wouldn't shock me, to be fair. But honestly, that is one cracking strategy call from Destroyer Drac. Don't forget, before the first safety car, he was what, like P17 roughly, around P17, P16, and now he's P3 on intermediate. Everyone behind him is on one lap fresh at intermediate. One lap. That's it. One lap. Wow. Safety car is in this lap. You've got 2 medium tyre runners up early on in the field. And this will be interesting as well. Destroyer Jack is going to try and get himself through. Let's keep watching. Did he did it earlier last season? Well, he did it last season too. I don't remember that. Okay. Well. Okay, so he done it last season too. Fair enough. He's obviously following what he feels is best. And it is very much best, clearly. But anyways, we now wait on when Merck decides to go. Just checking on with his throttles, getting those tyres up to temperature. I'll be honest, they might be overheating by the time he tries to warm them up. And he's off now. So is it inters or is it dried? We will see with the next few laps. As Connor now has a 3-second penalty. There's 8 seconds in total for Connor. The Ferrari is in trouble. And now the 2 Alfa Romeos of Destroyer, Jack and Usamatch. I wonder if Jack could be better off letting his teammate through. But then again, if they can't afford to, really, can they? They're losing a lot of time, you know. These guys are losing time to Merck and Poem on dry tyres. It's not quite intermediates yet, ladies and gentlemen, because they are 2 seconds behind. But it is getting heavier on track. They will start catching them relatively quickly once it is intermediates. And Usamatch is still all over him. I think now Drac has decided, yep, you know what, Usamatch, you can go through. And indeed he does. So through goes Usamach, and now Usamach is the lead Alfa Romeo. Medium will try and follow. He's going to go down the inside into the hairpin. And there you go. Can Drac hold him off? Medium down the inside. Drac out wide. Medium takes one. Will he take a second? As Drac again just lags in a little bit behind. But Medium will try again as Tajani takes Drac as well. Drac is struggling a little bit. But Medium has a chance now. But he's going to stay in behind Usamach. And on the run through into turns 12 and 13. It is clearly Merck and Poem out in front. And it is still just about medium tyres or dry tyre conditions, it seems. But now the gaps are starting to steady on. And actually, is Usamach closing the gap? We'll get the gap to the leader on as well. Further down, Rusted Bolt and Yorson Seeley fighting. Bolt has got the move on the Mercedes. And Bolt up into P11 now. A lot of battling with himself, Sincerely, and Pesci. Pesci down in P13. Not his finest event, this one. Oh, late break in there for Mav, who has to avoid Pesci. As Pesci now is running into and battling with Yorson Seeley. And they'll be almost side by side here. Yorson Seeley, has he got this one covered off? Pesci tries it down the inside. Pesci goes into Yorson Seeley, it seems. Contact is made. And I do imagine that will go to the stewards there between Pesci and Yorson Seeley. Yorson Seeley losing places now as a result. Maybe Pesci just fighting it a little bit too hard. He knows he's quicker, but it doesn't mean that he has to go and barge his way through drivers, funnily enough. But sadly, I think I will have to go to the stewards. Lynx Peace now will take Destroyer Drac, and he will get himself up to P6. I've got to be honest, it's not like I didn't see that coming from that McLaren. But into the pits goes Poem and Merck. DRS has been enabled. Enabled? Sorry? It's not been disabled, it's been enabled. Of course it's been enabled, game. How is this DRS enabled? How can you enable DRS? That is crazy. Right, back to this then. The thing is now, Merck and Poem may be in the best place to go to the end. As Connor has got the move on Hazer, so he's up to P5. Again, he has 8 seconds of penalties. Can these guys go to the end? As DRS is thankfully disabled. It should have been disabled anyway, but it has been disabled now. But with 8 seconds of penalties, if he needs to pit again, then he's going to have to serve a 5-second penalty no matter what. As further down, Pesci now makes his move on Rusted Bolt. Ferrari of Mav will try and join in as well. Pesci gets through. Bolt is trying to keep the place, and he does keep the place very well as Mav runs in very deep, and the Ferrari not taking advantage. So Rusted Bolt stays ahead of the Ferrari, but here comes Mav again, and now alongside each other are Kennedy and Destroyer Drac, and the Mercedes goes down the inside, and the Mercedes gets the overtake done. Can Drac get the slipstream he needs and try and overtake again? It's going to be close. He's going to go down the inside, but he holds off. And Kennedy stays ahead. Pesci still there. Pesci now will maybe run into Drac. Very close. As Pesci definitely trying extremely hard to make overtakes here. And he's going to try again. Oh. Well, something's happened here because they both ghosted. And Pesci gets incredibly close. I do think Destroyer Drac is moving a bit, which I'm a bit surprised with, because I don't ever see it from Drac. But anyways, Pesci is now through on Drac. It's a bit gutting that for Drac, really. That his car does seem to be moving around a little bit. And Mav also makes his way through. Is there anybody further back? Merck is battling with Judge Santi now. Merck obviously on fresher tyres. He's already caught up to the pack, him. Well, nearly caught up to the pack now, Merck. And he's going to try it round the outside on Judge Santi. Santi goes a bit deep into the hairpin. Poem will try it as well on the inside. Here comes Merck. He will get the move done. And job done for the Williams. Santi still alongside. They are still squabbling side by side. If we stick with the broadcast view here, through into turns 12 and 13, they are still alongside. This could be tricky as Merck goes off track. Tabo retires in the... No, he doesn't retire in the pit. It's another safety car. Whoa. Tabo is clearly out there. Wow. Drax into the pits for intermediate. Again, he's gone into intermediate. Where's the safety car at? These guys have got ahead of a safety car at least. Tabo is out, so no points for that Williams. So got one Williams, one Aston Martin and one Red Bull out of this race. Another safety car. It's about halfway into the race. Fresh intermediates could be good right now. And now I wonder what the leaders are going to do. Especially the likes of Connor and Usamatch, who have got 5-second time penalties. They have to serve them. And maybe the time is right. But if you're Mav may want to risk staying out. Because he might lose a place under the safety car. If he pits, as will Connor, because Connor has a 5-second penalty. But let's stick here with Usamatch then. I'm expecting the Alfa Romeo to pit and serve his 5-second time penalty. He will drop down many positions here. And yeah, he is into the pits. Oh no, he's got a drive-through penalty as well. This has not been the race for Usamatch as well. Big errors. As Hazer has also got a drive-through, as does Kennedy. Usamatch retires in the pits out of clear frustration, but drive-through penalties now for Hazer and for Kennedy. And this is effectively race and game over. I mean, these strategy calls tonight, some of them have been bonkers, some of them have been brilliant. As Poem and Merck now find themselves both in the top 7. Rusted Bolt leads the race, Coffee P2, but they both are on 7-lap old tyres. And there's the penalty situation. Drive-throughs for Hazer, Kennedy and for Connor as well. Does Wizard still have it as well? Let's just double check. No. So 3 seconds for Wizard. Wow. Right, and we are back then. Let's see. One more lap, I imagine, under the safety car. Medium will probably feel he's in the best place right now. Tajani, an unlikely second place on the cards. And Lynx, and then you got Poem and Merck, who are in good positions as well. With all 3 drivers behind Poem and Merck, all have drive-through penalties. Right, this will heat things up a little bit. Okay, I say heat things up, it's raining, so it might make things a little bit more frosty, but you know. Let's see how the safety car restart goes. Change of positions further back as Mav and Destroyer Drac. Yeah, Drac is definitely still moving around a bit though. As Mav gets a 5-second penalty because he doesn't let Drac through. So he obviously would have had it on the screen, so he really should have pulled aside and let Destroyer Drac overtake though. Safety car is in this lap, but I would have personally liked to have seen Mav let Drac back through, but then Drac, in a way, the way his car has unfortunately been lagging, I don't know if he knows his car's been lagging a little bit. But if he does, then the best thing for him may be to put aside and let all the drivers through. Sadly, even we don't know where exactly his car is, sadly. But anyways, let's stick then with the race leaders with Rusted Bolt. And he is going now. So, oh, it's very close behind them with Coffee and Medium. Medium is right behind the Alpine here. 3-second penalty for Tajani. So again, I don't think it's going to be a podium for Tajani here. Medium and Tajani going at it here. The two Alpines are having a battle with Medium. And has Tajani got the move done on Medium? He goes for it. He gets the move done. Coffee is wide. Coffee lets the trio through. But it is Tajani ahead of both Medium and Lynx. And further down the field, Connor has had something happen to him. Connor has spun. As Drac has left the session, I think I'll need to try and invite him back. Do we have any race control tonight? I'm not too sure if we do. So Drac will need to let me know when he would like an invitation. And I will try to get to it at the best opportunity. Obviously, I don't want to move away from the racing too much, however. As Tajani will try and get this move on Bolt. He will try and get it done quickly. He will try and get it done here into the hairpin. As he goes down the inside, Bolt goes a bit wide. Tajani, has he got the move done? Yes, he has. Tajani leads. Medium will try and follow him. Tajani will need, really, for Bolt to battle. But Bolt has nothing left in those tyres to fight it. Medium goes through on one. He was thinking about it on Tajani, but he knows he just has to stay within 3 seconds. And further back, the switches are going on. As off track goes Merc again, I believe. And into the wall. Who was that into the wall? Into the wall of champions. I'm not certain. I'm not certain who it was, but somebody, I believe, hit the wall. And there are yellow flags further back. It's for Coffee. He's found on the exit of turn 2. Yellow flag still going on. But there is a little bit of carnage going on at the moment as Drac now takes Coffee. And Drac has been able to rejoin. So maybe there is race control because he's been able to rejoin somehow. So we are back to it. And back with Pesci then. Actually, no, we'll drop it down because Judge Santi trying to challenge here with Yours Sincerely. He was trying to challenge himself with Mav. As there is a rejoin, it seems now, for Drac, and a penalty for Mav. 3 seconds in total. So Mav, frustrations going on for the Ferrari team here. Get the penalties on for you because there are a lot of penalty situations. As Pesci takes Bolt, Poem with a slip means Hazer goes through. Pesci goes through as well. And Pesci takes Hazer. Poem takes Hazer. I wonder if that's because Hazer may be about to serve his drive-through penalty. And it is. And also into the pits goes Pesci. Pesci did not have a drive-through penalty. So they are all boxing. Is it full wets, you know? So Pesci's back in for inters. It's still intermediates apparently. I mean, wow, this race has really caught on though. Tajani's opened up a 1 second gap over Medium. Your pole sitter just losing touch a little bit. And that rain is absolutely treacherous here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Back down we go towards Judge Santi, still putting the pressure on Yours Sincerely. Still putting the pressure on Yours Sincerely. And drawing alongside Yours Sincerely. This will be a move off the ages into turns 8 and 9. Has he got the move done? They're still going at it. But Yours Sincerely stays ahead of Judge Santi. The Haas driver will not have another go into the hairpin. But there you go. Let's see if Yours Sincerely breaks a little bit on the late side. No, he doesn't. So it's okay. But Judge Santi has got the grip he needs. Yours Sincerely has been overtaken, but now a little bit slippery onto the curb. Through goes Judge Santi, and it's now into the top 6. It's Judge Santi. Beautiful from him, and let's see if he can keep it up. On board with Merc at this moment in time as all. Something's happened there. I think Yours Sincerely, did he just go off track? Yours Sincerely has had a mistake made from him, and through goes Wizard, and through goes Merc as well. Not the best few corners this from Yours Sincerely, struggling in these conditions. And now through goes both Wizard and Merc, and Pesci has a 3 second time penalty. Your tier 1 title leader is struggling, and full wets are going on for Kennedy and Connor. Yellow flags further back as well. Bolt with a 10 second time penalty. It's all happening here in tier 1. It's absolutely chaotic as Destroyer Jack is on the rear of Hazer. I do hope that he has fixed those connection problems, and perhaps he has done now, as he is all over Hazer. These two have served drive-through penalties as well, don't forget. As there are your penalty situations. 13 seconds for Russell Bolt. And now Destroyer Jack round the outside on Hazer, and he is up into P9. Destroyer Jack has got through on Hazer. Would not have anticipated that before the season started, if I'm honest, but Hazer's going to have a go back at the Alfa Romeo. And into the pits goes Medium. Is it full wets now? Is it ready for full wet conditions? Kennedy and Connor have already done it. Medium goes for full wets. And now into the pits goes Hazer as well. And he makes sure he does slow it down enough. So the gap to the leader is on, because I want to see when those full wets are going quicker. And just watching Kennedy's times, he is still hovering around the same distance to Tajani. It's not far off from full wets from what I'm seeing. It's not quite full wets though. I don't think it's quite full wets. So Kennedy is still seemingly losing a little bit of time. Let's see, 38.4. Yeah, he's still losing time towards the leaders. So it's not full wets just yet, according to Kennedy. But let's see a Medium, if he can go quicker, which he is. So on Kennedy's view, it's probably not, but on Medium's view, he is catching the drivers ahead. 17.2 seconds is the gap. It may be ready for full wets, you know. It does look very close, and he is now all over Merck and yours sincerely, who are struggling. But here will come Medium, and I do think it should be ready for full wet tyres here. Medium gets a move on one. He gets a move on Merck. He gets a move on yours sincerely. Down the inside he goes. And he has the move done. And into the pit goes yours sincerely as well. A little bit surprised that Merck has stayed out. Mr. Poem into the pits for full wets as well. And let's see how his pace goes. But the tyres are all up. The gap to the leader is all up. And Medium is still just about closing the gap towards Tajani. It's not at a rate of knots, but it is just marginal. But it is absolutely ploughing it down on track here. The conditions, they do look like they're full wets. And again, Medium is now less than 17 seconds behind Tajani. That gap is closing. And again, it's now opened up by 0.6 of a second. So a mistake was made there by Medium. I do think it's full wets, but only just, is what I'm gathering from Medium's timing. And I've got to say, Mr. Poem is 25.5 seconds behind, but he is in a very good place right now. I wonder how high up Poem could end up here. Could he be a surprise contender for a podium? Let's see what Tajani's penalty is. Got 3 seconds. There could be a podium on the card here for Mr. Poem, as Medium does take the place of Wizard Rex. Unless his intermediate runners all stay out, as Wizard goes into the pits. And Merck follows him in. They are all going for full wets now. So we're only going to have a few drivers on the intermediate tyres. The majority now are on full wets. And as you can see from the timings, the full wets do still seem the quickest. Or do they? 17.4 seconds. Medium is not really catching though. I've got to say, Medium is not catching Tajani. So whatever Tajani is doing, it is working. And if this rain keeps getting harder, he may still need to pit though. That is the problem for him. But if the rain stays as it is, he may have enough to win. This will be interesting. Alright, so we're with the Haas drivers. I do think Judge Santi will be best served to let Medium through. Look at Mr. Poem. He's up to P5. Everyone behind him is on full wets or inters. And, oh, Connor's out. And it's only a virtual safety car. So one Ferrari is now out of the race, and that is a problem for that team. But now it will make things interesting. Into the pits goes Tajani. Into the pits goes Lynx. I think Judge Santi will follow. I think Drac will follow. And I think Bolt will follow as well. So there you go. Now, where does Mr. Poem come out on all of this? So Medium will now lead the race. His tyres are a few laps older, however. It's the only stipulation. It was only a virtual, and Tajani's leading! He's under a virtual safety car. Tajani lead. He's on fresher tyres. Unreal. Tajani may end up winning this race. Yeah, not great for Ferrari, is it, Black Panther? Not great. Then again, it's not great really for my AlphaTauri team as well. But look at that. Tajani leads medium. And he's on 3-lap fresher wet tyres. Wow. But no, the only stipulation is that Tajani has a 3-second time penalty as well. This will make things very interesting. There could be battles going on in the midfield, but this is getting nippy. And drive-through penalties for many drivers. Who got them? Yours sincerely, Wizard Rex, Mav, all have drive-through penalties. It's gone from bad to worse for Team Ferrari. It's gotten worse for Team McLaren. It's not great for Team Mercedes. They're all struggling here as Yours sincerely and Wizard go side by side. Yours sincerely has to cut the corner. Wizard goes back through. And they may lose a place here to Merck as well. Merck goes up to P7. He's got a drive-through penalty with Wizard ahead. And now Merck is surely going to get one extra place here, because I do imagine Wizard would be best served going straight in for their drive-throughs. But watch out for that gap to the leaders between Tajani and Medium. Medium now is within 3 seconds. But will Wizard pit now? Yes, he is. He's going for the drive-through penalty. Yours sincerely also goes for his drive-through penalty. He's got a 5-second penalty to add. It has not been the greatest of races from Yours sincerity's perspective. But now we've got a race to the very end. Tajani, as things stand, will end up taking the victory with 6 laps to go. Wow. So the two Ferraris, one is DNF'd, one is P14. For Alpine, well, one is leading and will win this race as things stands. One is P15. Not great for that one. For the AlphaTauris, it's P7 and P10, but Russell Bolt will lose a lot of positions because of that extra 10-second penalty. As Coffee takes Mav. Mav going into the pit. Don't say he's for... oh, he's just exiting the pit. This will be pretty close. Mav is ahead of Coffee. Only just. So now, it's about what battles to watch. Well, there's a battle here between Kennedy and Drac gets a 3-second penalty. Obviously, as soon as we go to it, Drac gets the penalty, but here we go, side by side they will go. Drac will try and get this position done because of that 3-second penalty. Kennedy goes very deep, and Drac goes through very easily. Very deep, went in. The Mercedes of Kennedy and Destroyer Drac is up into P8 now. And that gap between Tajani and Medium, it just makes it even more intriguing to see that gap closing up. 2.7 seconds now. He needs to stay within 3 seconds. Will he do it with 3-lap older tyres as well for Medium? As we're just here with Mr. Poem. He's trying to battle with Judge Santi for P4. It's really been a brilliant race from Poem. If we have a look as well at the position changes, he has gone up 11 positions in this Grand Prix. Merck is up 6, Drac is up 8. They've all done brilliant strategy calls in this event. Mr. Poem could have been on course for a podium if it weren't for the virtual safety car, but he's still on course for a splendid result here. But Judge Santi will have something to say about that. Tajani is now opening up that gap, 4 seconds almost on Medium, as Judge Santi is still closing up towards Mr. Poem every single time, as we're now into the hairpin at turn 10. Into turn 11 now. And Mr. Poem is still ahead of Judge Santi. But look at the gap between the leaders. Tajani has made a mistake. The gap is just half a second between Tajani and Medium. We'll go back towards these two, Poem and Judge Santi. But Tajani may be in a little bit of trouble now. That 3-second gap that he did has evaporated here. at the Canadian Grand Prix, as medium is still there. Judge Santi is battling with Mr. Poem. It seems a bit unreasonable, this battle. It seems a little bit over the top there, that battling. But anyways, Judge Santi is through. I do imagine that may go to the stewards later on. But Tajani here, battling his way with medium. Now, the only issue is medium is now ahead. Tajani is struggling at this moment in time, unfortunately. He looked like he wasn't. He looked like he was going to run away with it. 3.8 seconds ahead. He looked like he was killing it. Now, he's killing his own dream of winning. Because he won't even end up in the top 2 right now. Link's Piece will get P2. Unless he runs in deep too many times, and maybe he won't. Destroyer Drac now was taking Hazer. Hazer P8. This has not been the best event from that AlphaTauri, I've got to say. And with Bolt going to get those 10-second penalties, he might try and appeal it, to be fair, because I can't guarantee what had happened. As into the pits goes Tajani. Wow, what is he going to go for? The change of front wing. It's not great. It's gone from bad to worse for Alpine. Tajani. On the brink of victory. He's now on the brink of collapse here. Not ideal. Not ideal whatsoever. He's down to P... Where is he exactly? Because obviously he will straight line here. I think he'll be just about P6. Pesci gets a 3-second penalty. He's P13. What is happening to Pesci here? I mean, the rain tonight, I've got to say, has thrown a spanner in the works. Because the drivers are absolutely everywhere here. Tajani could have ended up winning this race, but now he's down in P6. He's got a 3-second penalty to boot. Pesci, your title leader, P13 with a 3-second penalty. It may be more than 3 seconds. He's battling right now with Yours Sincerely. He's got 6 seconds. Yours Sincerely has 8 seconds. Neither of these two are going to end up any higher than what they are, despite Bolt having a 10-second time penalty. The only thing Lynx can maybe hope for is that Medium picks up a penalty himself. But then again, watch out for that gap between the top 2, you know. And watch out for the gap between the top 2, you know. Because they are close at 0.3 of a second. Miracles have arrived here because Medium is behind Lynx Piece. We have had a shock here at Canada. 3 laps to go. Lynx lead Medium. The 2 Haas drivers may end up on the podium. Poem is still there, don't forget. All over Judge Santi at 1 second. But a gap between the leaders. Tajani was expected to win this race. Now he's not. Medium was expected to win this race. Now he's not as well. Carnage and chaotic. That is tier 1 for you. Medium is not going to end up winning unless he overtakes Lynx or Lynx gets a penalty. It's been absolutely incredible here as Mav himself picks up a penalty. None of these top 2 can afford a time penalty because they've got to stick at it here. Merck as well has done brilliantly. P5 for him. Tajani P6, Drac P7, but he looks like he's going to lose it to Hazer. Let's go back down towards these guys. And then again, Yours Sincerely and Pesci still going at it as well. Pesci will overtake Yours Sincerely no matter what, due to having 2 seconds less of penalties. But we've got to stick with these two, haven't we? We've got to stick with Lynx and Medium. Tajani takes Merck. Tajani still has that penalty, however. And now we're coming on and entering the penultimate lap of this race. Thank you for the follow to Doyley. And here we go here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. 0.3 of a second the gap between Lynx Piece and Medium. Tajani bottled it. Medium maybe bottled it. But he's still pushing and still pushing. The gap at a 10th of a second. He's going down the inside but unable to deliver the move of the century. And he's going again on Lynx Piece. Who will end up winning here in Tier 1 at Canada on round 3? Pesci, the title leader, still down. Now he's made the overtake on Yours Sincerely and it's up to P12. Not great for my 2 McLarens this race though. But Medium here is trying to draw alongside Lynx Piece. He's still pushing on into turns 8 and 9. But Lynx Piece holds the advantage. And now, heading into the hairpin at turn 10. Do not brake late to either of these drivers. They can't afford to. And I've got to say, Lynx Peace has settled it very well into turn 10 and keeps Medium at bay. Medium will have the slipstream on the run down to turns 12 and 13. Who will stay ahead here, however, because this will be ever so close for the victory at the Canadian Grand Prix. Medium is not there yet. He stays behind. He does cut the corner a little bit. Oh, he runs wide! It gives Lynx the advantage on the last lap. Half a second between Lynx Peace and Medium. Who will take the victory? Who will take the honours for their first win of the season? Will it be Lynx or will it be Medium? Well, if one man it won't be, it will not be Pesci, who has won the first two events. Victory at Austria in round 1. Victory at Abu Dhabi in round 2. Maybe P12 in round 3 here at Canada. Not the smartest. Not the best of events from him, but it continues here at the front as down the inside goes Medium, and he's taken his teammate, the rival, out. Medium has taken out Lynx Peace there. Because of that, I do hope Lynx Peace wins this race, I've got to say. And Lynx, thankfully, has got away best. That will be a penalty coming for Medium, no doubt about it. I'm just hoping now, because of that, Lynx Peace holds on to the win. But that has allowed for the likes of Santi and Poem to all catch up. It does look like, though, despite that incident, which Medium will be penalised for, because we've seen it on stream, he's got to be penalised for it. But Lynx Peace will come away with the win in a way. Unless Judge Santi can do something, but again, it's not looking great for the Haas team. But Lynx Peace here, on the run down, into turns 12 and 13. Here we go. A Red Bull is going to be on top of the podium. Because Lynx Peace into turns 12 and 13 now. Don't cut the corners. Don't run into the wall of champions. He's on the exit. He will reel away. Victory for the Red Bull of Lynx Peace. Medium, well, he will get a penalty again. P2 is on track, but a penalty incoming. Judge Santi P3, Mr. Poem P4. Brilliant effort from him. P5 for Tajani Brinkman. To be fair, he's done pretty well to get himself into that position, but Merc P6. Destroyer Drac P7. Bolt will lose a lot of places. Or will he? Hazer P8. This could be fairly closed down. Kennedy will take a place. And Wizard just about takes a place as well. Bolt finishes P11. Pesci P12. You're sincerely P13. And now we're waiting on Coffee and Mav, both of which are still driving their cars, thankfully. But there you go. Lynx Peace takes the win despite the last gasp attempt from Medium. But there you go. It was more like a suicidal attempt. But either way, victory is on the cards. And victory has been delivered by the Red Bull of Lynx Peace. Superb racing from him. Got to say, some great battles again. Some very iffy moments, however. I've got to say, obviously last lap as well. Definitely an iffy moment there. Congratulations, though, to Lynx Peace. Brilliant victory. Absolutely brilliant. And there you go. Medium also got the fastest lap, so he almost got the Grand Slam. But again, we've not seen a Grand Slam this season except for in Tier 3 with Doug. How can it be that Doug has got the only Grand Slam this season? Amazing. But there you go. Brilliant job from Lynx Peace to take the victory there. So looking at the pit stop strategy there, Wizard Rex on a little 7-stop pit strategy. He almost came away, he got the top 10 with a 7-stop strategy. Pesci, 6-stop strategy, only P12. There you go, so some big stoppers. Tabo, DNF, he got a 4-stop strategy with a DNF as well. Amazing. But congratulations though, Lynx Peace, Medium, Santi, Poem. They've all done very well here tonight. If we check the race director as well, to have a little look at what's been happening. A lot has been happening. It says keep scrolling down, and keep scrolling down. If we scroll down a little bit more, 84 years later, we might get to the end of this. We're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. It's getting very close, and we have made it to the end. Jesus, that was close, wasn't it? Oh, a lot of things in that race director screen, wasn't it? Anyway, just having a little look then at the comments. Tajani, no, yeah, Tajani was on course for the win. Black Panther, seems like I got to do some work tomorrow for combined constructor standings. No, you can take the night off if you want tomorrow night, mate. I'll be happy if you take the night off, personally. Obviously, no bias. Definitely not wanting you to take the night off for any bad reasons. Championship. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, feel free to take the night off if you need to, Black Panther. Destroy a track. Woo, I'll take P7. No, I'm joking. Black Panther, feel free to race, obviously. Yeah, no, great result, Jack. P7. I've got to say, great strategy call as well. Earlier on in that race to go for the enters 1 lap before everyone else under that safety car. Yeah, very smart job. Sweaty race, yes, it was, fair to say. Now I've got to think about Driver of the Day candidates. Well, I think 2 of those are definitely have been in the chat in the last minute or two. So, and the other 2, I think Lynx has to be up there. So that makes it 3 drivers are certain. Who's the 4th driver? That's the question. So yeah, now I'll have to figure out who my 4th driver will be. Anyways, I just took the risk. Yeah, had nothing to lose. Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, but it was very smart though. I wasn't too certain at the time because on my screen there was no rain. But then all of a sudden, as soon as everyone was coming out, you came out the pits and everyone was going round like turns 2 and 3. I started to see the raindrops and I was like, whoa, this is coming quite quickly. Coffee for qualifying. Oh, yeah. No, good shout, good shout. Did he DNF from the race? Or he finished quite low, didn't he? That's a good shout, actually. Because no disrespect, but I always feel like with the Drive of the Days, people don't take into account that a driver has started well away from where they should start. And I mean that in the sense of Coffee. No disrespect, but P4 was incredible. Like, genuinely, I would argue that it's one of the best sessions of any driver this season in that sense. So maybe, yeah, Coffee is a very good shout. For best qualifying performance of the season, unexpectedly, I would say Coffee should be there. So I've just been given some information on Bolt as well. Okay, so what I'm going to recommend to Russ's Bolt is to appeal that 10-second penalty then. So we'll let him know that. So, just so people do know, Russ's Bolt will be appealing his 10-second time penalty. So if you finished in that 10-second bracket of him, then you may be ending up dropping behind him. But obviously, again, we'll see how it goes with the appeal. Yeah, just letting them know what to do on that one. But yeah, that was a tier 1 race tonight. I've got to say, great racing from some iffy moments. Obviously, medium on that last lap. Definitely one very iffy moment. I've got to say that medium, move that medium made on that last lap, that could have destroyed Lynx's race there. So for me personally, I think that can't be. That has to be a penalty. It has to be a penalty for medium for me. But anyways, let's sort out the raid then for this. Who is currently on? I imagine yours sincerely won't continue streaming, so there's no point doing that as a raid, is there? Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, you were moving a bit, so. And I think Mav may have got a 5-second penalty for overtaking under safety car when he didn't actually overtake. I think, or at least it didn't seem that way. Anyways, let's have a little look. Who can we raid for tonight? Hang on. I am logged in though, and let's see if I move to the right screen. Yeah. I think, to be honest, you've all given me my 4 contenders for Driver of the Day tonight. So you've all made it relatively simple in that respect. So you've got Link's Piece will be on there. Brilliant win, well deserved. I mean, it kind of feels like a bit out of nowhere, but, you know, got to say well deserved as well. Mr. Poem will be on there, P4. Could have been Santi as well, to be fair. You done pretty well to get P3. Ooh. That's giving me food for thought now. Should it be Judge Santi or should it be Coffee? I still think... Nah, I'm still going to go Coffee. Just because of qualifying. And at the end of the day, it's drive of the day, but it takes into account both quali and the race. It's not just the race, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know what? Coffee will be in there. But let's see, who shall we raid for tonight now? Yeah, they're my 4 drivers of the day contenders then. So you've got Link's Peace will be on there, Mr. Poem will be on there, Coffee will be on there, and Destroyer Jack will be on there. And now, for the raid, it shall be... I don't know if Jay's still gonna... Is Jay reviewing his race? If Jay reviews his race and I'm willing... I think he might be, you know. Yeah, you know what? We'll send you over to Jay, lads. So, yours sincerely will get the raid for tonight. If he's still reviewing whatever's going on in the race. I think he's reviewing incidents, in all fairness. Ironically enough. But let's have a little look, because I know we had something with Pesci, I believe. I'm sure he'll probably send it in, but either way, we'll send in that raid towards yours sincerely. So feel free to go and have a watch of his stream. I'm sure he'll raid somebody else afterwards, so don't worry too much if that happens. But let's sort this out. Yours sincerely, we'll get our raid lovely jubbly. Anyways, that has been the Tier 1 race tonight here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I have been Viva F1 Comms. We have been UFRL. Thank you for watching, and good night.